Maybe it's the more out there character design or whatever it is, but for some reason lately I've been wanting to draw bad guys more so than the good guys. What is going on, drawittoo crew? Ramny here with a brand new drawing tutorial for you guys, and today we are going to go back to Spider-Man No Way Home and we are going to draw the Green Goblin from Spider-Man No Way Home. I have with me the action figure from the first Spider-Man movie of the Green Goblin, the Willem Dafoe version, and while it looks really cool, there were a lot of criticisms about it because a lot of people called it like a Power Rangers costume reject, and that's kind of what it is. And I'm glad that in Spider-Man No Way Home they kind of fixed it by breaking it up, removing the mask, although I do think the mask is one of the cooler aspects, and then giving him a purple hood and more stuff that makes him look goblin-y. And you know what, you guys, I think it's a lot better than what it used to look like, for sure. So let's go ahead with the tutorial. Remember that there's a breakdown in the beginning before the actual tutorial, so make sure you watch the breakdown so you guys can see all the different shapes that make up the reference photo that we're using for Green Goblin. And then grab your pencils and we'll do the tutorial. Taking a look at the Green Goblin visual that we have here, you'll notice that we're only going to be drawing up to mid-chest or mid-torso here because there's a lot of details, and yeah, so in order to keep the tutorial shorter, we're only going to be drawing up to that point. But if you guys notice, if I take the head, I always like to draw the circle for like the top of the head. I always like to draw this shape first. You guys will notice that there's a hood that covers the top of, like, the top part of that circle there. And then the eye line is going to be like at the bottom of this circle, consisting of two circles. And then you got the ear line kind of around the same plane there. Then the nose is going to be right here, and then the mouth is right there. Okay, and then we have a hood that sort of surrounds the head like this, but we don't see the neck. But if you kind of bring the neck down a little bit, you'll get a better idea of where you want the chest to be. So let's draw the clavicle line. I like to draw the line that goes from this shoulder, the top of the shoulder here, to this right here. So this line right here sort of makes up the top of the chest. Okay, and then speaking of chest, the chest goes this way, and then circle here for the shoulder. You don't really see much of the shoulder over here on this side. Okay, and then the center of the torso sort of goes like that. U shape for the bicep, and then the rest of the torso sort of goes like this. Okay, and then the rest of the arm. And then going back to here, we just connect the shoulders. There go the shoulders like that, but then you give him like a little bit of more of that hood, kind of giving him a little bit more bunched up shoulders. Willem Dafoe is a naturally skinny person, so yeah. So there's that. Zooming out now and removing this layer, you'll see this is what it looks like. All right, you guys, so here we have our paper in landscape mode. Like I mentioned, we're only going to be drawing up to the torso. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to find a spot right here, and we're going to draw a circle about this big. And now remember, he's going to have the hood and it's going to be at the top, so you want to make sure that there's some room for the hood up there. And that's a big enough circle, I think. We're going to bring two lines going down for the sides of the face. Willem Dafoe has a pretty prominent chin, so I'm going to bring that chin line down quite low. Okay, we got the center line right here. And then you guys remember the top part of the face is going to be covered, so I'm just going to leave it like that. Okay, and then the nose part is going to be right around here. So I'm just going to make a little V. And then the mouth is going to be right here. So I'm just going to draw this line, and he's gonna be frowning. And then for the eyes, I'm just going to draw this little line right here. This is the bridge of the goggles that he wears. And I actually really dig the design, the look of the goggles with the costume. I know in the comics, Green Goblin has like yellowish looking eyes that are kind of big, but for this movie, they decided to just give him goggles, so make it a little bit more realistic, which I think works. So there you go. So there's the goggles right there. Remember I mentioned the ears, so that's the eye line. The ears are going to be along that line as well, going under the hood, and then over here just a little bit, and it goes under the hood just like that. Okay, I'm not going to make his chin too pointy now. Unless you want to make it comically pointy, you can do that as well. Doesn't have to look like Willem Dafoe. And the chances are this is not going to look like him. If it does, it's going to be more of a fluke than anything. Okay, so if we draw the neck going down, remember he's got kind of a skinny neck, so I'm going to just kind of give him a skinny neck. There you go. And a little bit beneath that, we're going to have this line right here. And this line is going to be higher on the right side than it is on the left side, so you want to make sure that that happens. And I'm looking over here, I've got the reference photo a little bit too far away from me, but that's okay. So about this distance away, it's about like the length of the neck from here to here, about that distance away. I'm going to start drawing the circle for the shoulders. There's one right there. And then from here, a little bit closer, this is going to be the chest, and the chest is going to just look like this, like so. Okay, and then from here you got the back, and then the rest, sort of the center of the chest is going to look like that. Okay, we don't see much of the shoulder here, but we do see a little bit. And then from here, chest, and then sort of goes up like so, like this. Okay, so there we go. You see a little bit of the bicep here, so I'm going to make that little U shape. This is where I'm going to cut it off, and then from here, U shape like so, for the bicep, of course. Just like that. Okay, so that's pretty much what it's going to look like. Here we have the side. Okay, so if you imagine this is going to be like the front, and here's like, imagine there's a seam here. If it were a shirt, this is like the back pretty much. Okay, there you go. I'm going to start right here, and I'm kind of going to make this hood shape that looks like that. Okay, and then the hood is going to be up towards the right here, so I'm going to bring it towards this way, and then just very roughly just going to do some folds, folding in on itself like this. I'm not going to draw that dark, just going to leave it light. Okay, so that's what that looks like. We don't see much of the neck like I mentioned, so I'm going to erase the neck here, and that's going to be filled with a lot of shadow instead. Okay, and then here at the top, I'm going to bring it to about this far up. We want to give it a little bit of volume, so where it goes really close to the top of the head there, imagine that the hair kind of sticks out, so the hair kind of gives it a little bit more volume going out like that. Okay, and then that looks like that. Kind of trying to make it look more natural, that curve here. Okay, because remember, what this is going to do is going to go like that instead, so we don't really see the actual shoulder. It puffs up a little bit higher. Okay, and then same thing over here, sort of goes out like that. Okay, so there you go. We've got a basic shape for Green Goblin already. Nice, nice. Okay, cool. Just going to open my other reference photo over here just so I can uh, see it a little bit better. Okay, so here we go. What we're going to do now is I'm going to move this guy aside, bring this guy towards the center a little bit more. Yeah, so there's Willem Dafoe. This figure actually looks pretty good considering how old it is. This is like over 20 years old now, I'm sure. Anyway, let's cover him up. Let me know if you guys want a tutorial on the original Green Goblin mask. Okay, so let's start to shape the eyes. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create two circles, one inside the other here, just like so. Okay, so that's for the goggles. And then the goggles kind of stick out this way. And then into the ear, the top of the ear, like that. Okay, and then we'll do the exact same thing over here on this side. Try to make it so that it's more or less about the same size. There you go. Just like that. And we don't really see much of the anything. Let's just do two curved lines like that to make it look shiny, but it's really dark yellowish looking glass, I believe, so we don't really see the eyes. Okay, but what you do see is you see the brows and a little bit of wrinkle at the top. You don't see eyebrows or anything like that, so just leave it as is. And then lastly, it's just a bridge between the two. The thing you got to be careful is that if you draw these lines right here, you'll run the risk of making it look like some minions with big eyes, so it kind of looks like he's looking down. But yeah, if you can get past that illusion a little bit, then yeah, you'll see him looking a little bit better. Okay, the nose, we started off with that triangle, but all we really need to do is just create the nostrils. He does have quite a pointy nose, so I'm just gonna do that like so. Okay, it's got that whatever you call it right here in between the nose and the mouth here, these two lines right here. So there's that part. He's got thin lips. It comes down to a frown like that, and then just gonna draw the bottom lip like so. Okay, I'm gonna go back up here. I'm gonna draw the cheek line, cheekbone. So the cheek line kind of aligns with the chin line here. So there's the chin line. The cheek line sort of lines up, right? Okay, and then the jaw. Line underneath the lip there. That's to give it the chin that sort of distinguishes the chin. Okay, there you go. Okay. So if yours does not look like Willem Dafoe, again, don't worry about it too much. He does have big ears-ish. So I'm just going to give him some big ears like that. Okay, I think that's okay. I'm going to erase the top part here and just give him that hood. Let's work on the hood a little bit. Okay, so the inside of the hood is going to be folds. So you don't really see much of the inside except it's really dark and shadowy. Okay, there's a bit of a seam on the outside, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw 2 lines like that. This part is the seam. And it sort of goes along the hood, really. Follows it going down where they fold like so. Okay, so remember this is kind of where these two meet, so there you go. The hood folding on the outside here, and also on the inside. Inside folds and outside folds. Okay, right here you get a little bit of a dimple where the hood, it's not really a fold, but more so where the fabric sort of folds, or sorry, the fabric kind of curves. Okay, it's a bit of a hole here, so I'm just going to leave it like this. So it's not perfect. Okay, just like that. And right here, if you want to add some shadow to it, feel free to do so. There you go. So what we're going to do is probably going to find all the fabric for this purple hood, and it sort of goes to the right side or left side of our paper. His right chest here kind of covers all of that. So what we'll do is we're going to find kind of how it goes. So it kind of looks like that. Okay, so let's start right here where it's easiest. Tatters, where there's rips and stuff. Okay, more tatters right here, kind of folding upward. And then a layer underneath that folds and goes this way, also in tatters. Draw holes in there so that, you know, gives it more of a ripped look. Okay, if I erase this, might be a little bit easier for you guys to see. But yeah, all of this is going to be fabric folding, looking ripped, lots of ripped parts to it. So I'm just going to randomly choose some lines here and then just create some zigzag patterns to it to make it look ripped. And then there's this little part out here that kind of sticks outward. Like that, and then goes in. There you go. So really, the way that I did it, there's really no, I'm not following any templates or anything. I'm just kind of seeing where it naturally looks like there should be a rip there, and just randomly creating little holes and stuff like that. There you go. So that's what that looks like. If I color in where I have some rips here, that'll give it a little bit of texture. Okay, so now we're down to the body. The body looks like this. So this is the original costume. It looks like that. But when he was in this universe, he got beat up and stuff, and so his costume kind of ripped up. And it kind of gives him a bit more of a like that deranged look to him. So kind of works to make Norman Osborn look a little bit more crazy, I guess you could say. So what I'm doing now is I'm finding this right here. You see how you got this pectoral muscle here. So that's sort of what I'm doing, looking for the lines that define that. But then this sort of follows underneath the armpit as well. So there's that. Okay, so let's focus on this, because right here you got like broken pieces of whatever this is made of. So whatever fight he was on, I actually don't remember what happened to his costume, why it broke like this. There's some cracks to it, so this is a green part, but then I'm gonna have to rewatch this movie because I don't remember. And then you see a little bit of like the texture underneath. It's like carbon fiber is what it looks like, and then there's more underneath it. There's another layer that looks softer, and then just black. This whole thing is black after that. Okay. Underneath here we have something that looks like it goes down to okay, so let's find this spot right here, kind of like where the pectoral muscle changes direction. Draw a line going down, because this is where we're going to have, trying to find this point right here. It sort of goes downward like this, pretty low, goes up, changes directions, and then into the armpit like so. Okay, and then another one at the top is sort of just goes like this, and then goes underneath the pec like that. Okay, find the spot right here, draw 2 circles, looks like a rivet, and then curve like that. It's sort of, so that's sort of what it looks like. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to find another thing that looks like that underneath it. Find a spot here, 2 holes, and then there's like some sort of, you know, I don't know what this is, but it looks like it's just barely hanging on, keeping his costume from falling apart. So there's 3rd hole over here, and it sort of creates this triangle. Like so. Okay. There's a spot right here that sort of creates almost like a, think of it as like the Batman, I don't know, the Batman costume design or the logo. It sort of goes out like so on top of this part, and there's a hole in it that looks like this. It's like a metallic brown part. So that goes over this layer. And then there's a thing that looks metallic and kind of has this shape. And I'm giving it some depth right here, make it look like it's sticking out. And it looks like a bullet hole or something in the middle. And then more costume. That looks like that. Okay. Drawing a line from here to there. And then we don't really see much else. So all of this is like different textures, but it basically looks like it's been beaten up. Just like that, okay? But the thing is, what I do like is that he's wearing some sort of sash or a bag, and it looks like that's kind of where he keeps his pumpkin bombs, right? So I'm going to draw, what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line, 2 lines, a V shape here, just like that. Let me bring that a little bit higher, and then 1 parallel to this, and then perpendicular line going this way, sticking outward about that far. So what we're going to do is we are going to, yeah, there you go, create the little strap that looks like so beneath it. Okay, so that's part of his little satchel. You don't really see much else on that side. There's a bunch of like random things that looks like it got attached to Green Goblin's costume over here on this side, and it also kind of looks like a bunch of I don't know, broken pieces that he sort of used to mend his costume. Yeah, just like that. So that's I'd say that's pretty much it. I'll go back over here and sort of create this backside, which you don't really see much of, so I'm just going to create a shadow like this. Okay. Now going over the shoulder now, start right here, just like that. Then this goes inwards, so you see how would this look? Actually makes like a little T shape. Like that. Like this. And this goes like so. Okay. Another layer beneath that that sort of follows that same direction. Like that. Okay, from here, I'm going to create a metallic dark metal layer. Sort of goes over top the green with some rivet holes. kind of random. There you go. You see this shoulder pad is cracked, and you see little parts of it have come off. And underneath you see like the layer of the same as this, where you see carbon fiber, Kevlar, whatever. Okay, little cracks right here, looks like that. Just, there you go. Okay. Draw a line from here going down the bicep, pretty much to there. What we're going to do is we're going to create the bicep piece right here. So it's sort of this part right here. I'm just going to create a bunch of layers, a thick line going in between, all the way to the bottom. Actually, I didn't even count how many that would be. I guess I could count, but at some point you're also kind of not copying the drawing, but you're basically just coming up with a design yourself. Okay, you see how right here you've got these lines. So we'll do the same thing here, a bunch of lines that sort of go along the armpit area. Like this. Okay. The tricep is covered by this metallic gray layer. It sort of wraps around the arm, so sort of does that. Okay, there you go, and that's kind of what that looks like. There's that part. Does it correspond to anything here? Not really. Kind of a triangle, I mean. And then right here, just going from here, going out towards that, creates like a panel. And the second one right here. And the third one beneath that. And right here you see a little bit of a metallic piece sticking out. And then some cracks, carbon fiber inside. And then this just goes, there's the elbow really, you don't really get to see much of it. And then you see how there's stripes that go this way in the action figure. Same thing over here, just stripes going across. Okay, and then lastly, over on this side, you do get to see some fabric. Kind of looks like this, but then it sticks out. Looks like it's layered, or it's got some seams in between. Not sure what that is, to be honest with you. Two lines. Okay, let's follow the same diagonal pattern on this side. And then a bunch of weaponry looking kind of thing here. That's a bit of a straight line. Like that. There you go, you guys. And you know what? That's pretty much it. There's tons more details that you could add to this drawing if you really wanted to. Feel free to do so. If it doesn't look like Willem Dafoe, again, don't worry about it so much. But that's pretty much it, you guys. So here is Green Goblin from Spider-Man No Way Home. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Stay tuned because I will be drawing the 3 Spider-Men from that movie. And you guys, that is all the time that we have for this video. Thank you so much for tuning in all the way to the very end. I appreciate that a lot. If you guys are proud of your drawings, I would love to see them. So head on over to Instagram, tag me at drawittoo so I can see your masterpieces. If you guys are ever curious about the tools that I use for drawing or the equipment that I use to make these videos, I have links in the description of this video, so make sure you guys check that out. If you are feeling extra generous, I have links down in the description as well for different ways that you can show your support on this channel. I already mentioned Patreon, but there are other ways as well, so be sure to check those out. Links in the description. Your contributions go a long way in ensuring that I can continue making videos just like this for you guys to enjoy free of charge. Again, if you guys like this video, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, like this video right here, comment down below, and share this with your friends in your social media. And speaking of social media, don't forget you guys can find me on Instagram, on Facebook, and of course on my website, drawittoo.com, where you can find a free coloring page based on the tutorial drawing that is found in this video. Again, you guys, all of the links to those are found in the description of this video, so be sure to check that out. Finally, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. And yeah, stay tuned for more so you can learn to draw it too. I'll see you guys next time.